What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video on KMCH E-commerce LLC. As you see by the title, as you see by the first slide, we talk about the basics of bid optimization for Amazon PPC. I'm gonna keep it really short, simple, to the point. I think this is something that's very important when it comes to Amazon. It's one of the biggest levers you can pull in terms of sales velocity and profitability on Amazon. So I kind of want to go through some things and help you get a better understanding of just bids overall and kind of help you get more of a strategy. I feel like a lot of people don't have a strategy when it comes to bidding on Amazon and what to set your bids to. And hopefully this presentation can help you guys figure that out. So my presentation overview, what we'll be talking about today is what is bid optimization and why it matters, the common practices and mistakes, how to optimize bids the right way. And for the fourth slide, I have a formula for you guys to estimate a profitable bid. And we'll get into that later. And of course, the last slide, take action today, and the overview, key takeaways of this presentation. So what is bid optimization and why it matters? So Amazon uses a auction-based system where the highest relevant bid wins the ad placement, but you're only paying just enough to beat the next highest bidder. Okay, I think this is a misconception when it comes to bids. Even if you're using all the bid types, right? You have dynamic up and down, you have dynamic down only, and you have fixed bids. Just even on fixed bids, it sounds like you would bid whatever that bid is, it's $2, right? You're not always going to bid $2. You're just bidding just enough to beat the next highest bidder. Okay. Just want to get that clear. And, I think that's a big misconception sometimes. When you see something like fixed bids, or you would assume that, oh, I'm going to bid $2 every time, but no, you're just bidding just enough. It's an auction-based system. So the highest relevant bid. Okay. Optimizing bids is going to help you get the most visibility for the lowest cost. Kind of ties into this. Bidding too high wastes money, while bidding too low can make your ads invisible. I really want to make this a point, find the right balance. It's all about balance. It's a lot of iteration sometimes with bids. You might start a little too low, and then you gotta be like, okay, I'm not getting any impressions. What do I have to do? Increase the bid. Okay, my ACoS is getting too high. What do I have to do? Lower the bid. Find that sweet spot. It's all about balance when it comes to bid optimization and finding that sweet spot that you're being profitable and you're still getting impressions in that good sales volume. So bid optimization is one of the biggest levers you can pull to lower your ACoS and boost order volume. Right? I mean, it's right there in your hands. It's something you can change. It's really going to affect your impressions. It's just a big funnel when it comes to Amazon, and how to lower that ACoS and boost the order volume. It starts with impressions. So you're at the top of the funnel with increasing a bid. You're going to start getting more impressions. You're going to start getting more clicks. What's your click-through rate? You're going to start getting more add to carts, more purchases, right? So it's one of the biggest levers you can pull, and it's very important to kind of have a strategy going into this. Okay, so common practices and common mistakes. So common practices I'm gonna go over first. Increase bids on low ACoS, high converting keywords to scale. So you see a keyword that is doing well for you, and you have a good ACoS, you're getting good impressions, and it's a hyper relevant term. You want to increase those bids to be able to scale. Use rules or formulas to guide bid decisions, like target CPC formula, which I have later in the presentation. Or like you can even use certain task managers that would say, hey, I want my target ACoS to be 30%. And it'll look at your bids and it can change your bids to meet that target ACoS, right? That's what I kind of mean by rules. Multiple frequent small changes, no big swings. Amazon does not like big swings when it comes to bid adjustments. Who knows why? I guess, they try to make their money too at the end of the day. So it's always about small changes. You see that ACoS high. Sometimes it does warrant a little bit of a bigger change. If you're at 200% ACoS, bring it down. You still might have a high ACoS. At some point it might be a negative term for you, but definitely make those small changes. Don't want to make big big swings with your bid optimization. I'd say like 5% or 5 to 10% change from what your bid was. Use placement modifiers strategically. Only increase bids where performance justifies it. Right? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. You can look in the ad console and look at your top of search and rest of search and look at the data, look at the analytics to say, okay, am I converting better top of search? Does it make sense for me to use a placement modifier and bid higher on top of search? Do I have a good A cost there? Am I better rest of search? You know, like I said, increase those bids where the data is showing you for the placement modifiers, and make sure that you're making, informed decisions based off data, not emotional, which leads into common mistakes. Emotional bidding, rely on data, not assumptions. It's really easy to get in your head and say, oh my God, I have a 200% A cost. I have to drop this big crazy. I have to, you come in here and make these big changes. That's called emotional bidding, right? I think a lot of people, we're human, money is a very emotional thing. So let's not do that. Let's focus on the data and just do things strategically and not really what your mind thinks or what your heart thinks, in that instant, right? So also bidding the same amount across all keywords, right? All your keywords, you're going to have some that are very hyper relevant, ones that you want to rank for. You're not going to bid the same. You're not going to bid the same for those keywords, right? I think every keyword kind of has its worth and its value in terms of what you want to set that bid for, in terms of how it's performing and, its relevancy to your product, right? Setting and forgetting certain bids. Like I said, it's not set and forget when it comes to bid optimization or anything on Amazon. Always want to be improving, always want to be optimizing, trying to, it's about iteration when it comes to bids and a lot of things on Amazon. Making big changes to bids, kind of like we covered, and not accounting for conversion rate when setting bids. I'm going to get into that when I get to the formula. But yeah, these are the common practices, common mistakes. Very important stuff. How to optimize bids. So when it comes to optimizing bids, how you want to do it the right way is you want to analyze the performance metrics. So focus on your ACoS, your click-through rate, conversion rate, and impressions. You want to identify the high-performing and underperforming keywords. Use them, get in them search term reports. Just take advantage of all the stuff that Amazon is giving you, okay? I mean, it's there. Use it. Don't just make on how you feel today. Don't make decisions based off of that. Look at the data. If it's performing well, increase the bids. If it's performing bad, decrease the bids. If it's still bad, as a negative, right? Just look at the data and make the decision based off the data, not based off, in the moment, how you feel, right? Increase bids strategically. Kind of like I was saying, raise bids for keywords with high conversions and low ACoS. You want to gain more impressions for winners, for proven winners, so you can scale and keep that good ACoS and increase that sales volume. Use bid adjustments by placement. Review placement performance, kind of like I was saying before, top of search, product pages, and rest of search, and apply modifiers only when placements are profitable. Use a simple bid formula. This is optional. I don't think it's not too optional, but people are going to do what you want to do. So you want to calculate starting bids with a target CPC formula and adjust bids over time based on the campaign data, right? It's not a set or forget when it comes to anything on Amazon. We all know this. It's all about optimizing. It's all about getting better. There's always room for improvement. So here's the formula. Something you guys can use to estimate a profitable bid. So I have the target cost per click equals your target ACoS times the product price times your conversion rate, right? So I have an example here. Your product price is $25. Your target ACoS would be 30%, right? Your conversion rate for that product, say it's 10%. So your bid would be 30 cents times 25, which is your product cost, and then times your conversion rate. So you have 75-cent bid. Obviously, there's no 75-cent bids on Amazon anymore. It also varies and stuff. So it depends on the situation or the phase that your product is in. If you're at launch, obviously you're not really going to have data on the conversion rate for your product or conversion rate for that certain keyword. So sometimes you kind of just have to look at the bid range to start low. I always suggest when you launch a product, start a little bit lower, see the impressions. If the impressions aren't there, increase the bid, right? It's pretty simple. Once you get that data, then you can kind of make better decisions on what that bid should be to be profitable. Right. This is a profitable bid. A lot of people, when you're in the ranking campaigns or you're launching that launch phase, you're not really going to be profitable, right? You're just trying to get your product out there, get it impressions, get clicks, and get that sales volume. On to the last slide here. I got the key takeaways and the overview, things I want you to take home with you. The very important parts of my presentation. And of course, I have some take action things for you guys to do today or in the future. Bid optimization is one of the most powerful levers in your Amazon PPC strategy. Like I said before, it's very important. Smart bidding is going to help you lower ACoS and increase order volume. Use performance data to guide all bid decisions. Do not guess, right? Don't be on your emotions seeing that 100% ACoS. Make a smart, informed decision based on the data. A simple formula can help set profitable starting bids. Like the formula I provided you guys with, I would use that. And, once you're in that profit range of your product and you want to start, pushing more for profit, definitely can help guide you along the way. Optimize regularly. PPC success is a process, not a one-time fix, right? There's no set and forget with Amazon, always constantly improving, optimizing. There's always room for improvement on Amazon, right? And things change over time. For the things you can take action today, audit your current campaigns, check ACoS, CTR, and conversion. Adjust bids on 3 to 5 keywords today based on actual performance. Get them search term reports. Use brand analytics. If you don't have brand analytics, what are you doing? Okay. It's very valuable data. You can help, grow your Amazon business, right? It's coming straight from Amazon, straight from the source, right? Test a placement modifier using real data. If you're not testing placement modifiers or looking at that data, you need to be doing that. You could be taking advantage, or if you're not, you're missing out on sales. Try using the target CPC formula to calculate smarter bid when you're in that profitability range, when you're pushing more for profit. Use that formula to help guide you. Set a reminder to optimize your bids weekly. Now, this kind of depends how much you're spending on PPC. So just take that with a grain of salt. It could be whatever, you know. Weekly is an okay thing to say for most people, right? Yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys, learned something. I hope you guys can take something from this video and apply it to your Amazon business to be a little bit more profitable, a little bit more successful on Amazon and grow your business. But you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave them in the comments. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. Peace.